So the projected income statement is just basically I'm budgeting for profit and losses. Okay? So basically now I'm going to only work with nominal section accounts. Can you see I can't put payment from debt to creditors or receipts from selling an asset here. Okay. So what I did is I gave you an example, but I already did it. Okay, because it's actually a very easy concept. But I'm going to work through it step by step with you. Okay, so you got your example info with you. Ne? So the first thing you see is they say, this is the income statement for the year ending 30 June. Okay. Now they say this income statement is for the year ending, and I need to budget now for August and September. Can you see it's the 2 months following me setting up the real thing? Is everybody with me? Yes. So July and August and September. Okay. So now, can you see all this information here is given to you for 12 months? You agree with me? Okay. So, now let's read. The first one they say, average monthly sales are expected to remain constant in July and August and increase 10% in September. Now, if I divide 960 with 12, I will get my average monthly sale, which is what? 80,000. Now, can you see here? Sales, July and August, 80,000. And it increases with 10% in September. So, I'm going to say times 110 over 100. And it will give me 88. Everybody sharp. Nothing difficult there. Now they say, a consistent markup is maintained throughout the year. A consistent markup. Now you can do it one of two ways. But I think the best way is to first go and calculate the markup. So how do I calculate markup? I say gross profit on cost of sales times 100. So my gross profit is 480. My cost of sales is 480. Can you see what your markup is? It's going to be 100%. Because exactly my cost is exactly my profit. So I had a markup of 100. Okay. So now when I go here, I'm going to say 80 times 100 divided 200. And I do that for all of them. And I get the gross profit. Can you see the format of the income statement doesn't change? I'm just dividing it into months. Okay, is everybody still with me? Okay, so other operating income, can you see there's a total and there's a rent income. So let's go look. They say, a monthly rental charge to the tenant will increase 10% in August. So now what do? I am literally going to look. What is my rent income? And I see my rent income is 38,400. I divide it by 12. Can you see you're going to get 3,200? Is everybody with me? So can you see there's your 3,200 and it increases with 10%. Does everybody find how to calculate the increase of 10%? Okay. So rent is done. operating income, gross operating income is most now just the gross profit. Those two together gives me that. Those two together gives me that. Ne? So, operating expenses. So the first one I see, what they tell me here, they talk about the interest on fixed deposit, which is at the bottom. They say that remains unchanged. So what am I going to do with the 3840? You guys must know now. What am I going to do with the 3840? Remember, this is for how many months? And they're saying it stays unchanged. So how are you going to get 1 month? Divided by 12. Can you see there's my interest? You see? Then they give me a loan. They say the firm has a mortgage loan of 50. The rate on this mortgage loan is 15%. 10,000 is repayable 1st of August. So it means July is going to be the average of the previous 12 months. Is everybody with me? So I look here, 7.5 divided 12 gives me what? 6.2, like that. Okay. Another way to do it is to say 50,000 times 15% for 1 month. Okay, then I'll also get 625. Now when I get to August, how will I get that 500? So I paid back 10,000. So am I going to times with 50? No, I'm going to times with 40. And that's how they get the 500. Okay, everybody sharp. Talk. You sharp. Okay. Depreciation will remain fixed for July and August, but September we buy new equipment. Can you see it's the same principle here as the interest? So, quickly see if you can get those figures. Try on your own. So come on now, did you get it? So stop waiting for us. Try. Got it. Okay, so you should have taken the depreciation, the 12,600, and you divide it by 12. Then I get what?
1050.
So that's where your depreciation comes in, 1050. And it's the same for July and August. But in September we buy an extra. So that extra I'm going to calculate. The 48,000, 10% for 1 month gets me 400. And then I add the 400 to the 1050. Okay. If you didn't know how to get it, do you know now? Okay. Advertising rates, water and electricity. So advertising rates, water and electricity will increase with 10% in August. So you're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm not going to keep on doing it. You're going to divide by 12 to get July. Then you're going to times with 110 over 100 to get August and September. They all work exactly the same. And then they say all other expenses is going to increase with 20% in September. So now, if I look at bank charges, I divide by 12, I get 1.8. But here, I'm going to say times 120 over 100. And I'm going to do that with all the other expenses. Are you guys fine with a projected income statement? So chances are that they will never, they don't really ask this, right? But they might give you this and ask you to calculate single amounts or to comment. Okay, so what's important is in the cash budget, I show exactly the month it's paid. In the income statement, I spread it evenly. Okay. So, in other words, if I pay my interest on loan once a year, 12,000, I'm going to show the month that I pay the 12,000. But in the income statement, I'm going to show 1,000 in every month. I'm spreading it. Okay. So, let's go. Exercise 8. So exercise 8, they want to figure out if you understand the difference between a budget and a projected income statement. So remember, the cash budget can be a B or a N, but it has to be cash. The projected income statement can only be a N. Okay. And it's spread. Spread. Meaning you will only show 1 month. You won't show, if you had 3 months depreciation, you will spread it over the 3 months. You won't show it in only 1 month. Okay. So let's do the example and then you try the rest. They say the telephone. So I know telephone is a nominal. For June was paid by check, actually EFT. So that's back. So can you see? It will influence my payments and my expenses. Because bank goes with payments, the nominal goes with income or expense. Okay. Quickly try number 1.1. Then I'll mark it with you that you can see if you're on the right track.
There's so much information.
I don't know. Read it and use it. Isn't it there?
No.
Then someone borrowed it again. Can anybody see my stapler? There it is. You see? That's my life.
Can you please return over back front on your direction?
You guys all saw what they do with their notes. Did you see? Boka, give me. I think it works so well. Who started it? Omolemo. So what he did is he made it like a book. He stapled it on the side. So you literally page like this. Then you don't have to turn. It makes it easier. But only if you want to. I think it works well. Yeah. Okay, let me quickly go through and see that you understand.
The sales in the income statement, right? Is both the credit and the cash, is it combined or separate?
In the income statement,
Is it
it's
both?
one.
Okay.
So let's quickly do this one. Let's do this one. They say the expected cash sales for June were estimated, can you see cash sales, were estimated to be 35.2, which is 40% of the total sales. And the profit markup is going to tell you about the cost of sales. Okay, so if I look at this, I'm going to say, okay, I have a column. Number 1, it's receipts, payments, income, expense. Okay, so if I look at this, my cash sales is my receipt, the 35.2. But my income is going to be the 35.2 times 100 over 40. And that's going to give me my income because I want 100%. 60% is credit, but it's still an income. I just didn't receive the money yet. Okay? So what is that answer then? 88,000. Okay? And then My profit markup is 60, so I also got a cost of sales. So I'm going to take the 88 times 100 over 160, and that will give me 55. You guys get it? So let's try 1.2.
Quick, man.
On your own? Yeah?
You see 1.1, right? In the columns you gave us, right?
Hmm?
Like in these blocks here, right?
Yeah?
Would I still need to put like the cost of sales?
Yeah? As an expense, definitely.
Which one?